Filling in from Malika Andrews, I'm joined by Anscape senior writer David Dennis Jr. and our NBA champ Kendrick Perkins joining us right now. And guys, let's just get right into it. This past weekend, Luka decided to close things off with the Lakers and stay on the Villa with his new boo. That is a Love Island reference for everyone who doesn't know. LA inked him to a 3-year, $165 million extension that ties him to Tinseltown through 2028. And that leaves the Lakers with plenty of future flexibility to build the roster around Luka going forward. Here was President of Basketball Operations Rob Pelinka on the moves made by the Lakers this offseason.
We like the upgrades we're able to make to the roster, but by no means are we going to be satisfied. I think every year we're on an infinite cycle to try to improve this team and win championships, and we'll stay committed to that work.
All right, now welcome in our front office insider Bobby Marks and senior writer Tim Bontemps. And you guys put out a great piece on ESPN.com on what's next for the Lakers after Luka's extension. So Tim, I want to start with you. Now that they have clarity on Luka's future, what are the Lakers looking forward to right now?
Well, as Rob Pelinka just said in that clip there, I mean, the goal for the Lakers every year is to try to win a title. And last year, they obviously lost in the first round in 5 games to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who went on to lose in 5 games in the Western Conference Finals to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who went on to win the title. So to get to be a championship team, the Lakers have a lot of work to do. Now, if you want to look at how are you going to build around Luka Doncic, go look at what Dallas did, right? You had a bunch of big two-way wings, some rim running centers with him. That is a formula that's led to a lot of wins for Luka Doncic in the past. However, every team in the league is looking for two-way big wings that can shoot. So getting them with limited draft picks going forward and salary cap space going forward is going to be a problem. We obviously have the LeBron James question that's hanging over the Lakers. We'll see what happens with him over the next year. He could obviously be an unrestricted free agent next summer. And another fascinating unrestricted free agent next summer is Austin Reeves, who's on a below-market contract right now that the Lakers cannot extend him on. People I talked to around the league for this story thought he'd be making $30 million or more next year. That's a huge raise from where he's at now. And if you pay Austin Reeves that kind of number, you're signing him up to be the Jalen Brunson or the Kyrie Irving alongside Luka Doncic going forward, which is a big question the Lakers are going to have to answer. Is he the right guy to pair with Luka Doncic going forward? So a lot of questions for this roster, one that obviously has some work to do to get where they want to go. And Rob Pelinka has his hands full trying to get this Lakers roster to a championship caliber level in a Western Conference led by the Thunder and the Rockets and all these other contenders up and down the lineup.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the Reeves situation also. But what everyone wants to know is what's next for LeBron James. Perk, I see you right there. Would you got something for me?
I do, because yes, Luka signed the extension, right, and he's going to be there for a while, but he also expressed that he wants to win the championship with the Lakers organization, and the key word that he put in there is that he wants to win now. So I'm going to talk about the now, and when you talk about this Laker team, their biggest issue last year and why they had a first-round exit is, one, guys were playing out of position. So you had a LeBron James playing in the center. They addressed that issue with a young DeAndre Ayton, who showed us when he's competing and playing for something under the right leadership, he could help be a center that go to the NBA Finals. He done it with the Suns. 2, can Austin Reeves be a third option of offensive player on a championship contender? Absolutely he can. When you look at his numbers that he put up last year, 20 points, almost 6 assists, 4.5 rebounds, it was damn near similar to Ja Morant. And so when you think about Austin Reeves and what he could do, and then they address the position of the perimeter defender, but perimeter defense, and add Marcus Smart, because we saw what Anthony Edwards did to them last year in the first round. The Lakers are right in the thick of things, and last but not least, they're finally going into training camp healthy. Jared Vanderbilt, healthy. Right, Gabe Vincent, healthy. Under J.J. Redick in his second year of coaching with a hell of a coaching staff, the Lakers are a legit title contender right now. I'm not picking them, but they definitely are a real title contender.
And Perk, those are all valid points right there. Let's switch back to LeBron James. Everybody wants to know what the future of LeBron James is with this Lakers team. So, Bobby, what are the options here for LeBron with 1 year left on his contract?
I mean, this is an unprecedented situation here, and I'll kind of set the stage for you. Here we have a 40-year-old LeBron James who continues to play at an all-NBA level, and the only thing that's guaranteed is that he's going to be an unrestricted free agent next year, and that's because he opted into that contract here. I think when you look at it from the Lakers' perspective, it's ironic. They're a team that's going to have $50 million in cap space next offseason, but guess what? The two best free agents out there are LeBron James and certainly Austin Reeves here. So it's certainly going to be a situation that we continue to monitor as this situation goes throughout the year. I think the big question for me is what happens if this Lakers team struggles during the course of this year, and if they fall out of the top 6 of the Western Conference. Would they ever entertain moving off LeBron James? It does become complicated, certainly from a trade shooter standpoint, but I think we know for one thing, when LeBron James does become a free agent next offseason, there's going to be a line of teams out there willing to sign him if he wants to continue playing basketball.
Yeah, a lot of different X factors with this Lakers team, but David, I want to ask you, what chances do you give the Lakers, as they're constructed right now, to win a championship with Luka?
Unlike what Perk said, I don't think they're going to win a championship this year. I don't see them as contenders this year. I mean, you can talk about all the things they've added. You can talk about the Aiden. You can talk about the Marcus Smart. They still got bounced in 5 games pretty handily by Minnesota Timberwolves team. That's not better than OKC. That's not better than Houston. That's not better than Denver. I don't see the Lakers entering into the top 4 with what they have. You can talk about Reeves and Luka and LeBron. Somebody's got to play defense back there. And Luka can, looks great and all that stuff, but that doesn't mean anything in terms of how he's going to look defensively. There's a lot of stuff I need to see from this Lakers team to believe they're contenders this year. I just don't see it. Now, going forward, Bobby brings up a good point. The way that you build teams that for the Lakers traditionally has been pretty simple. You get a star, Kobe, Shaq, even Magic, or LeBron. You get one of those guys, they come to the team, and then you build around them. You get your stars later. You get an Anthony Davis, you get a Pau Gasol, you get a Metta World Peace, you get that. The NBA doesn't work like that anymore. You have your big star in Luka, but who are you going to build around him after LeBron James is gone? Because we're assuming that after this year he may be gone, but definitely in a couple years LeBron will not be there. So now you have to build a roster around Luka that is going to compete with an OKC, and it's a lot more difficult to do now than it has been traditionally for the Lakers. I just do not see a lockdown championship for them in the next 3 years.
Yeah, Perk, I see you giving the meme mug. I know you want to say something.
What I do this time, Perk? What I do this time, Perk?
Because I'm asking, go and get a former #1 pick who's just knocking at the door of his prime, and DeAndre Ayton is not adding a piece that values, that fits around Luka, a guy that could be a lob threat, a guy that could be a pick and pop guy, a rim runner that they need. Go and get a Marcus Smart, who I believe is 31 years of age, adding him to the roster, a defensive guy that Luka actually made phone calls to because he wanted them on the roster and know what Marcus Smart brings to the table. Is not building and going in the direction of adding pieces. That is adding pieces. That they did an exceptional job, especially at the number that they got those 2 guys in.
Yeah, I feel like we can go on and on about this, but Bontemps, I want to get you in here as well before we wrap things up. What are your thoughts on the Lakers in that championship window?
I mean, the